Well, we're back out here at the farm today. It is right at the end of April, and we're gonna do a burn on all of this. It's a little later than I wanted to, but nevertheless, we're gonna get it done. So we've got all of our fire apparatus ready to go, backpack sprayers, a jug of water, and then a sprayer on back of the 150 over there, and of course, our lighter. So we're gonna get started. So what we're doing now is just starting a back burn on this side of the field downwind. And for now we're just using the leaf blower to get it, keep it in where we want it, which isn't going to be much of a problem today, I don't think, just because of the... There we go. Now we're starting a little bit better. We'll see how it goes. Bring you back later. So you can see what happens here. As soon as it runs out of dry fuel, it's out. And then what we'll do is go to the other side once we get this back burn completed. And then we can safely burn with the wind. And we know it's going to stop here when it runs out of fuel. So we'll keep on going. All right, so we've got most of the back burn done here. Put out all the little runners and so forth. So we're just gonna walk around, check, make sure we don't have fire where we don't want it right now. And then we will, I'm gonna back burn this edge over here. And then we're gonna go up there and light it up and let it rip. So anyway, I think we've got a good margin here for safety. Just want to make sure we don't have anything burning that we don't want to be burning right now. There goes the fire truck. So the leaf blowers are actually really effective when we have this much green grass. And the water tanks are mainly just in case, you know, belt and suspenders type of a thought process. Last time I burned, we just used water, which worked out pretty well, except we had a couple of exciting moments, but for the most part, it worked out great. So we're going to do a little bit of both this time. So the whole idea here is to back burn against the wind, and then we can get over on the other side there, light a fire with the wind, and that'll rip through really fast. This way we don't have to worry about the fire just getting so hot and fast that it rips on through an area we don't want it to be burning. So that's really what we're up to right now, is just the first step in a prairie burn, or a prescribed burn. How about that? So I'm going to light this up, and then we'll be going up there. So we really have about the perfect conditions today. Hardly any wind. We had rain last night, and but not too much rain. So this works out well. Now you can see how when we burning with the wind, so we got a little wind at our back right now, and you can see how well that goes. So it'll rip right through it. I'm going to grab this tractor out of the way. I think we're in pretty good shape here on this edge. Looks like we'll just stomp this stuff out here. There we go. So, and yeah, so we got a nice margin of safety on this burn. Happy about that. All right, so we're about ready to start the burning the rest of the field here. And So we'll get it started here. We're just laying down a little bit of water on that edge so we don't have to think about it quite so much. And then we'll give it this a go. So on this side, we've got the little road here, if you will, and it's pretty wet, so we got a good fire break there, and we obviously have a big fire break on the other side now. So this is gonna rip through real fast. So you can see what I mean by ripping through here real fast. So you might look at that if it's your first time, you're gonna be freaked out by those kind of flames. But again, the whole reason we did the back burn is so that we know that this fire is going to run out of fuel in plenty of time, and we don't have to worry about it. So it doesn't take long once you get the fire going with the wind. It really doesn't. All right. Well, we've got about a third of it done, or not mostly done. We'll put out these little bits here before we move on. So you may wonder, so this is a little late in the year, in my opinion, to be burning. Definitely at the probably very tail end of when I would want to. Some of the plants that we want in here, we're definitely greening up. And you might wonder, well, isn't that going to kill them? And the answer to that is no. So the plants I want, you know, they have a deep root system. They will definitely come back. But a lot of the stuff I don't want won't come back. So the annual grasses, cool season grasses, things like that will definitely be set back. This will definitely be set back, you know, a couple weeks for sure. But at the end of the day, we had a big mat of down grass and dead, you know, material, and I believe what we're going to see here is all those little mounds you see out there are the native grasses. Those things will come back in a, you know, in a big way, and they'll get sunlight. Same with the wildflowers and so forth. You know, just open it up and give them an opportunity to really take off. So we're just gonna make sure we got everything out that we want here, and then we're gonna move over there. Well, we've about got the back burn done on this other section, and that's the last section we're gonna do, obviously. Well, maybe not obvious to you, but it is to me. But so we're gonna finish the back burn here. We just have this section here to do, and around the corner at the barn, and then we'll go up over in this corner here, which is upwind, and we'll let it rip across this field. So we've got a good size buffer here now. I feel pretty comfortable in that, and we should be in great shape to let it rip right across that field. So anyway, we'll bring you back here in a little bit. When the wind picks up, it definitely makes a big difference. Let's just say that. It's one of the reasons why the back burn is so essential. You've got to get a good sized margin of area where you have no fuel left. Otherwise, you will not be able to control it. And what you don't know is where your wind's going to go and how it's going to act. So that's the safety margin you gotta have in place. So I'm trying to get this side burned now. We got a little bit of a variable wind, and it picks up in various directions from time to time, and I'm a little concerned that we're going to get out of whack over here. So trying to get this edge burned, that way we've got, you know, safety all the way around, because it is just a little variable right now. And when that wind picks up even a couple miles an hour, it makes a big difference. The amount of heat is incredible. Well, we're finished. Everything is out. And you know, it's always interesting. There's a few spots that don't burn, and you would think with that kind of flame, these things would be all gone. Interesting. I started this restoration 3 years ago this month, and you can still see I used a drill. Obviously, you can see the rows, and but you know what? I feel like I got really good germination, survival rate. Yeah, hopefully I didn't kill it this time, but I don't think so. These things will be back in great strength, and I don't think I can get them, but there's 4 interested hawks circling the place right now. There are some burrowing mammals, probably pack rats, that are out in here, and those hawks are very aware that those are far more vulnerable right now than they were when the grass was still there. So interesting. Anyway, you want to pay attention to these little fires like this, because they are the gift that keeps on giving. You know, they're obviously not as dramatic as the big flame, but if you don't get them out, they'll sneak up on you, and they like to relight themselves. So just FYI on that. Well, I hope you enjoyed the prescribed burn. Maybe learned something if you've not done it before. It is intimidating, I will tell you that. And you know, just have everything you think you need and more. Pay attention to the wind, a lot of attention to the wind. Bring yourself a safety margin, and those you know, if you in my case, I always mow around the edge of this field, but if I didn't, I would definitely have mowed a big swath around that before we got started. And you know, if you have some natural fire breaks, that's awesome. Not, you know, here I've got a lake that's around a lot of this, so worst case scenario, it would stop at the lake. Luckily we didn't have worst case scenario, and so this one went really smooth in my opinion. No panics. That's always nice. And we got it done. I'm happy about that, and then we'll come back in a couple weeks and I'll show you what it looks like then. So there we are. In fact, here's one of those pack rat dens. I'll show you. So there's the mouse right there. These mice and pack rats get in here. That might be just a baby pack rat, and they make pretty good hills and mounds here and so forth. So that is what the hawks are looking for. They call that lunch. Anyhow, so it goes. I don't mind the hawks getting them, because those things can do a fair amount of damage. I feel like I need to do something to fix this eroded area. Maybe we'll do that since we got a burn this time. Anyway, we will see you next time.